Welcome to Emerson Institute at City of Light. I'm Reverend Dr. Paul Gratz, and you've just joined us for the class, The Power of Positive Energy. It's based on a book by Tanaz Chubb, and we have been enjoying the study of the vibrational frequency of our life, the very power of positive energy, and how it's impacting our spiritual lives. We're engaging in a wonderful discussion on this, and we're glad that you've joined us today for this class session. This is class number 3 in our journey of the power of positive energy. Now, to prepare for this class, I'm going to invite you to join me in a breathing exercise where we're going to recenter our thoughts and just bring everything into this moment and releasing all distractions. So would you join with me by breathing in through your nose, holding for a brief moment, and then breathing out very intently with a lot of intensity and force. Just breathe out all stress and distraction. This is going to reset our thinking, reset our awareness, reset our frequency in many different ways. We're in a sense of peace and calm and in this moment. Join with me now. Let's breathe together. Breathe in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And in this moment of silence, set your intention for that which you desire to transpire in your life during this time that we share together. And so it is. Wonderful. Glad that you've named that direction, you've claimed that direction, you've expressed that direction, you've set that intention. This is what I intend to receive during this time that we share together. As you've set that intention, you've set the direction, you've set the course for this class and all that it has for you that's ready to unfold in your consciousness and your awareness and your understanding. So let's dig in. Class number 3, and it begins with this. Follow along on your note packet. Once again, if you don't have a note packet, please reach out to me at revtpaul@aol.com. Send me an email letting me know that you're interested in note packets, and our registrar, Dr. David Carter, will be sending out the note packet prior to every class setting. Great, you can follow along, and if you missed something, you can just refer to these cliff notes from the chapter. If you wish to understand the universe, think energy, frequency, and vibration. If you wish to understand the universe meaning all that is of God, all that is of the divine, the very aspect of the energy of the divine. If you wish to understand it, we need to think energy, frequency, and vibration, because vibration truly is the language of the universe. That vibration that's coming from you in the essence of your feeling, your emotion, your thought, it's giving off a vibrational energy that is the language of the universe. So when we are praying, we're praying and offering an energy, a vibrational frequency, a thought, a feeling, all that is the combination. It's radiating from our lives, and that's truly what God, the universe, divine source, is responding to. Now, you may think the universe is responding to certain words and certain ways of speaking, but it's the thought process, it's the intention behind that is the frequency. It is the energy, it is the emotion and feeling that is the frequency that is offering this vibrational language. So, a lot of people say, oh, teach me to pray in eloquent words. I want to speak some fancy words. I want some, make me look really good when I pray out loud, Gracious, bestow upon me, O gracious one, you're looking for some eloquence as if you're quoting Shakespeare or something. Let me tell you this, it's not about the eloquence of your words. It's about the thought and the feeling that you're expressing. Even in Scripture, it says there may be times when we don't know what to pray, and there may be an inner groaning from us, such as someone going through so much agony and pain or so much desperation, a lot of feeling. There's a lot of feeling and emotion that I don't even know what to pray. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what words. All I can just feel is that, I am feeling this desire, this intensity, this passion, this fervency. I'm feeling this, and this is what's in mood. That is my prayer. So when we pray, we put thought out. We express thought. We may vocalize that thought. And you may not be eloquent or highly educated. You may not be sophisticated in your vocabulary. It's the thought behind it, the intention, and it's the feeling, the emotion that the universe is listening to. So that's why we want to really focus on when we're praying or expressing the desire of our heart. Have we expressed the feeling versus have we expressed just a desire for something, some object, some material possession? Neville Goddard writes about a woman who came to him and she said, I want to marry that man, and my prayer is for that man, and I want that man. And Neville said to her, you don't want that man. You want to be married. It's a big difference because you're focusing on that man, and what might happen is you may get that man and he may cheat on you. That man may divorce you. That man may leave you. But the real feeling you want is marriage, commitment, security, longevity, a lifelong expression of love. So focus on the feeling rather than the material object. Let the material object be a symbol of the feeling you may desire. So you may visualize that man is a visual concept for me of what I might feel. But important is feel it. Feel the emotion. Because this is the language of the universe. God is listening to the very feeling, the intention, the very expression and thought that you're offering, more than the choice of words in particular. Your vibration is your personal energy frequency. It's a culmination of every life you've ever lived, every thought you have ever had, and every action that you've ever performed. It is the energy that surrounds and permeates every cell of your body. So your thought, your emotion is permeating every cell of your body. So we want to then look at this with great purpose, seriousness, really intentionally looking at and examining our vibration, because your vibration is your divine signature, your soul essence, and it's special only to you. So let's talk for a moment. If your vibrational level is really this important, are you maintaining it? And at what level are you maintaining your vibrational frequency? At what level? Is it the level of joy? Is it the level of love? Is it the level of peace? Is it the level of compassion? Or have we allowed that vibrational frequency to sink down into a lower level where we caught up in negativity, fear, stress, and anxiety? So what are you doing to maintain your vibrational frequency? Because the whole beauty of this world is understanding we have the power of choice. Use it. Your mind has the power to create. Use it. So choose, think it, choose it wisely. Begin to use the power of mind to create the world that you so desire. Think what you so desire. Choose what you so desire. Say what you so desire. Why waste your time putting out energy or vibrational frequency of things that you don't want, you don't desire? Because there's a lot of times we focus on negativity. I don't really want negativity, but I'm going to talk about negativity. I don't really want drama, but I'm going to talk about drama. So I talk about, well, did you see this drama? Did you hear about that? Did you get caught up in all this fear-based stuff? Did you get caught up in thinking about that? And before you know it, we've brought our frequency down. Our vibrational energy is moving down into a lower, almost saddened, depressed, fearful state of anxiety, stress, worry. And we've let go of this choice of joy and peace and happiness because it's our choice. Choose it every day. Choose it every day. Use your mind and the power that has been given to you, the power of choice, to create the day that you so want. Don't let someone else create your day for you. Don't let the TV, the media, the world of conversation, negative friends or community of negativity and fear. Don't let it choose the type of day that you want to live. You choose it. Use your power, the power of choice. So, what vibrational message are you sending out right now? Did you align yourself with the highest and best this morning? I hope you did. So I hope you're saying, what's the vibrational message I want to give out into the world? Because we become world changers when we choose a higher vibrational energy from our life to radiate that. Because the energy that we're sending out impacts the energy of others and it attracts and draws to us exactly the kind of world we want. This is why it's really powerful that what if we all got together and began to send out the vibrational frequency of peace? Well, we've seen it through experiments of meditation, where people have gathered together in a city and they intentionally gathered for the purpose of meditating on the power of peace, peace in their world, peace in their city, a sense of calmness. And they've discovered that during this season of meditation, over a period of time, the crime rate went down. Wow. Well, if we can have that kind of impact, why then are we engaging in any kind of low vibrational thinking, low vibrational or frequency emotion and feeling and thought? Why are we wasting our time when we can be elevators? We can be that which lifts up, that which is transforming the world by our daily choice, our choice to be in the consciousness of the divine. The full awareness, I am thinking God. I am thinking peace. I am emulating the emotional vibration from my body coming out is that of peace, joy, love, contentment. I visualize myself covered in this divine light of the goodness of God, and I just visualize that light just radiating out from my life. The power of that visualization helps us create thought and emotion or feeling that can be transformational in our life. So one of our challenges in our world today is that we face a lot of sickness, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical sickness. And it's all about our vibration. For what's the secret to the healing within each and every one of us and the healing within our world? The secret is setting our vibrational frequency at that intense high level. Have you ever wondered about the reason why some people are sick or why some are more susceptible to germs or even cancer cells? Or we might even ask very currently why some react to COVID-19 differently than others. Although modern medicine may proclaim to have all the answers, traditional doctors have no way to explain how thousands of terminal patients spontaneously heal against all odds. Have we not heard these stories of cancer going into remission, of people experiencing healing, and the doctor go, I'm amazed. How did this happen? How did this come about? They can't come up with the answer or the solution. In fact, there's a study called the Remission Project, and it's cataloged more than 35,000 medically reported cases of spontaneous remission worldwide, where healing happened, where a change happened, where a dis-ease, something was going in this direction and it changed direction. There was remission. And this is the wonderful essence of healing within us. Not only did these terminal patients defy the constructs of modern medicine, but most importantly, they overcame the perceived limitations of the body. They overcame our perceived limitations. But why are these self-healed patients the exception rather than the rule? Well, even though we've all experienced the body's innate ability to heal minor issues like a paper cut, you've experienced that, a scratch, an abrasion, a bruise, broken bones. Most of us have a limited capacity when it comes to self-healing more serious issues. And don't we want to look at, wow, I'd like to heal the more serious issues. I love the fact that the body heals these small things. I love the body is healing these little scratches and all these bruises, and it does it, and I don't really even think a lot about it, right? You just know the body's healing. And we know that the body has a natural ability to heal itself. We want to cultivate that now for more serious issues. So we have to ask the question, why would the body fail to heal when it really counts? Why does the body fail to heal when we really need it? More than a paper cut, more than a scratch, more than healing that pimple that you worried about so much as a teenager, more than those kind of things. When it's something that's really important, shall we say, cancer or flu or some of these other things that are COVID-19 or some of these other more serious issues. After all, some of us can heal terminal issues if we've seen this happen. Well, then shouldn't we all be able to? If we've seen documented cases of cancer going into remission, if we've seen cases where there's been disease being transformed and changed, when we've seen these things happen in 1, 2, and in this case 35,000, why can't it not happen for each and every one of us? Well, let's take a look. The secret is vibration. Just like everything else in the universe, the human body is composed of a vibrating energy. And fortunately, when we maintain an optimum energy, our bodies function flawless. Did you get that? When we're maintaining at the optimum vibration, when we've maintained, when we've chosen, when we've intentionally set the direction, when we've used our mind appropriately, when we've used the power of choice to maintain that vibrational frequency, our body functions flawlessly. In fact, as long as we vibrate near optimum frequency, the body automatically heals. And it's going to heal any potential physical issues even before any noticeable problems even arise, allowing us to maintain perfect health. What we don't realize is that when we've been at a high vibrational frequency, optimum level, we don't know what all we've warded off because we didn't experience it. You don't know what all, bam, you were fighting it off. You were Wonder Woman. You were Superman. You were this or that because your body was saying, okay, here comes this germ, this bacteria. I can take care of that. Here's this or that. And you think, well, I didn't have a cold or I didn't have the flu or I didn't have this or that. Why? And you think, well, I just must not have been exposed to it. Not true. You may have been exposed to a lot of crazy things, but your body was already taking care of it before you were even aware, before any signs could develop, before it warded it off, before any kind of pain or agony or headache or whatever appeared. So while we all possess the power to heal, our optimum frequency is comprised over of an extended period of time. This is the body's natural healing ability. It is can be compromised. And when the body cannot properly heal itself, such as minor physical issues can escalate, they can escalate into more severe problems. So if you're not warding off these things and you're not maintaining the high vibrational frequency, you're more susceptible to some small things, and those small things creep in to become big things. So before you know it, that small ulcer becomes a greater problem. And then it flows throughout the body and impacts other aspects of the body. So what we want to do is maintain a healthy vibrational frequency. So in your box, in your notes, I put this. In fact, virtually all chronic and terminal illnesses begin as simple physical issues that would otherwise heal if the body was operating at its optimum frequency. Okay? So, do you understand the importance of every day vibrating at the highest level, every day being in consciousness of the divine, maintaining that, choosing to dismiss anything that you don't want and don't think about it, don't say it, don't embrace it? All right? Norma has a question.
I'm looking at this where it says any part of the body that is out of vibrational harmony. So, are we talking about things like the bottom of your feet, or what is it?
Neuropathy? Is that what you? Or no? Or you're just experiencing some pain, or what is it?
I'm trying to figure out this. Any part of the body. How is a part of the body out of vibrational harmony?
So that maybe you've embraced some negativity, maybe in a chakra area, and it's blocked the divine flow of the power and presence of God. So you may be holding some negativity, some anger, some angst, some fear, some sense of separation, some hurt, some emotional wound, some unforgiveness. And you're harboring it within the body, and it has an impact upon a certain sector or area of the body. So we find a lot of stress maybe is held within the stomach area, creating the ulcer. So because of that stress that you're holding in this area here, that worry, that anxiety, the stomach enzymes are working hard. You've got a lot of acidity. It's burning holes in your stomach lining because your body is out of line. And how did it get out of line, out of vibration? It's through the thoughts and the emotions. The universe is listening to the thoughts and the emotions. All right, Dr. David Carter has a comment, and we'll come back to you, Norma.
Okay, so a long time ago, I was on a job and I fell, and I injured my cervical spine and my sympathetic nerve, really top of my hand. So at the time that I had the injury, it was very painful. I went to physical therapy, had a myelogram. They said surgery won't help you. You have to learn to live with it, and here's some exercises you can use. This was back in 1987. I still see that doctor to this day because it's, the pain is there. And so they treat me for chronic pain. So my chronic pain is a result of me having the accident, the stress of the pain I was experiencing, and not understanding anything about vibrations or energy back then. So that's why it has continued to this day. And now what I need to do is treat it,
right,
to raise the...
Right. We have to ask ourselves, okay, what is it about this why are we holding on to this? How can we release this? There's some people who enjoy their sickness. Oh, you don't realize I'm diabetic, or I'm this, or I'm that, and oh yes, have some sympathy, have some pity for me. I'm this and I'm that. Oh, you don't realize, I'm gluten free because that just irritates my stomach, and so please, everybody surround me with gluten free food. And I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying you also can be healed of gluten free. You can be healed of anything. Okay, but sometimes we hold it, nurse it, cuddle it. And I'm not saying that's your case, but I'm offering that for those who are viewing us and in our class as an example. First, we must ask, am I holding this? How do I release this? How do I release the energy that is being held around that spinal pain? Yes.
So in the process of treating, you're also telling yourselves that you can do this, and if the body knows how to heal itself, and we are the ones that cause the block. So I'm going to tell myself that I leave it up to them because they know what to do.
Definitely. We're going to speak that vibrational healing and energy. We're going to release consciousness of pain. We're going to release this in thought and emotion. We're going to allow that healing. This is faith. How did all these healings happen in the Bible with Jesus? Okay? When you break down how that works, it's all about Jesus speaking the word of positive power energy, setting intention, healing, coupling it with emotion, confidence, assurance. Healing energy happened as he reached out and touched, whether he laid on hands on directly or laid hands over, such as in a Reiki healing treatment, whatever it may be. Some issues, the Bible stories, he touched. How about the woman who touched the hem of his garment and was healed because of the radiating frequency and energy of healing, positive energy that came from Jesus, our master teacher? Okay? So if it works for Jesus, it works for us. And boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be nice? Honey, you can reach out, touch the hem of my pants, and I want you to be healed, okay? I want you to, that kind of energy that we could give out, that we might set that kind of frequency, that we are able to be radiating such vibrational frequency that people are touched and healed by it. All right, Norma, let's go back to you and your question.
Well, I was just thinking that may be why acupuncture and acupressure work, because you're releasing that blockage.
Beautiful. And there's a lot of things that we might do in prayer work too. We're releasing blockage, emotional work through forgiveness. This is why it's so important when you go to prayer and when you're going into prayer treatment to pray for someone else, the first thing you do is do cleansing work within your own life. So the first thing you do is you seek any kind of forgiveness work that needs to be done within your life. Are you harboring any energy that's negative that I have not forgiven? Because that's one of the energies that is blocking divine flow, is our inability to forgive. Because that inability to forgive is a direct cork, shall we say, in the pipeline. You just clogged up your pipeline because you're holding unforgiveness. So we might have to release and do some forgiveness work. We've got all these things that we want to do that release and shift the energy on a day-to-day basis. I think prayers to release forgiveness are daily prayers in our life. For us to maintain this vibrational frequency as we spend time in prayer, and we need to do that cleansing prayer. How many of you took a shower today? You did, hopefully. You all kind of cleaned up. You look great. You're looking fantastic, so I assume you did. You cleaned up the body. Did you clean up the spirit, the soul? We need a little soul shower. Little soap and water, shall we say. And that's the forgiveness work that we're going to do. Releasing and letting go. Releasing pain. Releasing consciousness around these things. Shifting in mind. So what happens is that's how healing changes. And I do believe the acupuncture that you're bringing about and many forms of medicine are also ways that help us to release. Whether it's the actual acupuncture or whether it's the feeling that this acupuncture works, you're being released. It doesn't matter. So is it my faith that when you put your hand on me, I was healed? Or is it the fact that you put your hand on me that I'm healed? Is it the power of believing in whatever action you take that transforms us? Or is it simply the action? Okay. Brenda has a comment next. Let's go to her. And then to Ann.
Okay, I've known about this for a long time and practiced release of the negativity that I have toward anyone. But if I don't get a healing from it, it's probably because I don't believe it. I mean, I think I believe it. And I do the things that I'm supposed to do. But if it doesn't happen, it's because I'm really deep down.
Intellectually believe it, but not.
Right.
But I don't believe
Not emotionally and feeling.
emotionally.
Right. That's where these two go hand in hand. We have what we hold in mind, in thought and in word, has to be coupled with that which we feel about it. Because there's a lot of things you can say that you don't feel. And you don't really mean, because there's no feeling behind it. They're just a selection of words that you've expressed. There's a lot of feelings that you can get, but you don't even know what those feelings are about. And you don't even know how to sort those feelings out. And you don't know how to direct them without a thought or knowing. So we want to bring these two together. Okay, Dr. David Carter has a comment.
So that's why the woman who toucched Jesus' garment, the hem of his garment, not only was he radiating at a high frequency, but she had to believe in knowing that if I touch it, I would be healed.
What incredible faith that says, he doesn't even need to say the word. He didn't have to say anything. I just need to touch the hem of his garment. Yes, that's the power of great believing. Ann, did you have a question or comment?
I saw a really cute example of this in the baseball practice the other night. These are 7, 8, and 9-year-old kids, and the pitcher pitched, and he hit the catcher in the ankle, and it was grabbed it right away. Ow! And then he was fussing at the pitcher, and one of the coaches yelled out, "Put some mud on it. It has magic in it." And the kid actually reached down and rubbed some mud and off he walked. He stopped fussing at the pitcher. He stopped being pain, and all of that. And I thought, with kids, it's so literal, but the coach is a big deal to them too. So
They believed.
It was really cute. I thought it was a cute example of
It's
that.
the power of our believing.
Yeah.
Amen. All right. Did everyone's questions answered? Let's move on. Let's go on. Furthermore, any part of the body that is out of vibrational harmony for weeks, months, or years is going to be more susceptible for illness. So one of our challenges we may have to ask is, how long have we harbored unforgiveness? How long have we harbored fear? How long have we harbored these things within our life that are blocking the body's natural God-given ability to heal itself? For instance, have you ever noticed that you're more likely to get sick during times of stress? Right. Whenever stress lowers our vibration, the body's immunity is compromised, and therefore making us magnets for colds and flu. So what we're working on is, how do we keep the immunity high? Well, how do we keep one of the best things is live a stress-free life. How do we keep stress-free life in a world of stress? Meditation, centering, claiming and affirming peace, choosing thoughts of love and joy and calmness. You see, the bottom line is that we can prevent, get this, prevent all sorts of mild to serious physical issues simply by maintaining a high vibration. A high vibration is living in faith. Every day I am getting better and better. Every day I am walking in the power and presence of the divine. I am whole. I am perfect. I am complete. Wow. Now, if we hold that consciousness at all times, every day this body is working in completion. It is 7777, the number of completion, the number of perfection. Y'all are a fabulous 7. Just claim on that. I'm living the 7 days. I'm living the 7 power. I'm living complete and wholeness and perfection. I'm living this constantly every single day of my life. When we hold on to that, that's when we set a vibrational frequency, thought, and emotion that's radiating from us, that's speaking to the universe and attracting what we truly desire. Now, a chronically low vibration can resist a variety of physical issues, and those same issues can be cured by raising our vibration to a level where the body can heal itself. So even though that you've had a low vibration, those same issues can be cured by raising. Healing is going to happen as we begin to move in faith, up in a vibrational consciousness. I am elevating into the divine presence, and that presence is whole and perfect and good. I'm elevating, and that begins to be curing that which is of the low vibration. For example, while cancer cells and viruses thrive at low frequencies, they cannot survive at high frequencies. And this means if we raise our vibration to a level where the issues cannot survive, well, the body's going to naturally heal. Okay? So let's just use the example. At a low vibrational example, you're stressed, fear-based, and full of anxiety. What happens is that begins to manifest within your body. Your immune system begins to break down. You start getting that cold, that flu. You start feeling horrible because you've allowed that low vibration to be control of your life. Suddenly you begin to go into prayer and meditation. You shift that and you start raising your vibrational level. The cells in the body are now given strength and energy to know what to do. And they are walking and living and operating, should we say, if cells can walk. They're moving in that way through your body in a way that they are responding to the thought and emotion that you're radiating, because that's the language of the universe. You want to talk to your body? You could say, body, how are you doing today? Hand, how are you doing? Or you can just feel and know. And the energy of thought and the energy of your emotion, your feeling, is speaking to your body. Calm. Peace. Laughter. joy, happiness. I think, I feel. And I'm just speaking to the body as I go through this cycle of emotion. And I've found immense healing working within the body as we do this wonderful work. And
all this is really good, but sometimes I've heard the explanation, treat, move your feet. Sometimes with stress, meditation is good, but it doesn't always take it away. It may bring you to the realization that you need to change something in your life.
Definitely.
And then when you move your feet or, when you change that takes care of it. But,
right.
I think some people might look at meditation as the total cure. It's not.
True. If you're truly in meditation will always bring about a shift. Okay?
True.
So if you're in meditation and you've really moved into the divine presence, you had to be in that divine presence, you have to leave fear alone. You have to leave anxiety. You have to say, I'm leaving you, goodbye. I'm going into the divine presence.
I'm making a change.
Exactly. So that is the, shall we say, treat and move our feet. That is the action. Meditation isn't this I'm sitting still and I'm afraid. I'm sitting still and my thoughts are, I'm stressed, but I'm quiet. Meditation isn't just about being quiet. Meditation is making a shift in consciousness from allowing this busyness of fear and thought and anxiety to be released, to create this vacuum where you begin to draw in the presence of good. Because it comes in, there's a vacancy, a vacuum occurs. I release now stress. And what happens? You've got a void, you've got an opening. And I welcome now peace. You start attracting it. It starts to suck it in. It starts to draw it into your life because you've released out something and you created a void. You created a vacuum. You created something that's going to draw something in. So that's the true work you're doing spiritually in your life, in prayer, meditation. It's not just sitting with, crossed legs and and your mind going, I'm still in fear, I'm still in fear, I'm still in fear. I'm afraid, but I'm quiet. I'm trying to work with it. No, you're like, I am not in fear. I left you behind. I'm walking into the presence. I am moving into the divine. I am in the presence of God. The presence of God is permeating my body. I love that visual of feeling like a pouring out of light just coming over me. And I'm showered in the light of the divine presence of good, of love and perfection. So just know that while a low frequency body is susceptible to illnesses, the cure is raising the body's frequency. I have heard numerous stories of people who have dealt with ulcers, finding healing as they moved away from their fear and anxiety and stress, that the body healed the ulcer. So when we look at this example, it's one of many. We could go on as we begin to raise our vibrational frequency. Dr. David Carter has a comment or question.
Okay, so this lesson, this information is basically for the individual. I'm asking that because I know someone personally who had a job that was extremely stressful, and every 6 to 8 months, the company let go employees, so there were few people to do tons of work. Over a period of time, all of that stress, I'm imagining, because it was so intense, it expressed in this person's body as cancer. Okay, but my question is, I'm learning this and I'm understanding this. This person does not. How do I help this person? What can I do on my end to help?
As we operate from a high vibration, our thought, our conversation, our words with others will always be uplifting, okay? So we're at a high vibration. We're going to speak love, not fear. We're going to speak hope and peace and healing and wholeness. That will be the words that we'll speak to that person. It is their choice, though, to receive that. But the vibrational frequency is there, and if they're open and ready to receive, that your vibration will impact theirs. but again, it has to be by a choice. In other words, negative vibrations can come around me, and they don't have to impact me by my choice. I refuse. I choose not to receive that. I don't receive this negative thought or this energy of fear or this. And I choose. I refuse. I do not accept. So it's the power of choice, because otherwise someone could say, I can put on a vibrational frequency on you of fear, and I'm just going to speak fear to you until you're so terrified. Well, that is the case because people have chosen. But you also can choose, I ain't buying into that. I'm not welcoming that fear. That stress is not going to buy me. I'm not going to worry about this. The scripture says, take no thought about tomorrow. Could we get any clearer in this? Don't worry about a thing. So when thoughts that are given to you say, oh, you should be worrying about this, you're in conflict with the very teaching of the master teacher Jesus that says you need not worry about a thing. So we don't have to receive or accept or welcome or entertain that thought of worry. You can choose. So the same thing for that person. We invite them to choose to raise their vibrational frequency. Their focus obviously is on the stress of the job and all the worry of the job and thinking, can I do this? Can I get this done? Can I get it all fulfilled? The demand is so great. Instead of saying, I got this. The power of God's at work in me. All things are working together for good. Yes, they put another pile of work on my desk. I can fulfill this. I know I can do this because the power of God has given me insight, wisdom to move smoothly and easily through whatever project's been given to me. So it's a shift in our consciousness. Dr. David Carter.
Okay, help me understand this. You probably need to correct me. Okay, I've read that sometimes the body itself is so far gone that even though you do the treatment and you believe in your healing, that the healing in some instances when the body is so far gone is that you shed that body.
Yes.
Am I understanding that correctly?
You are, yes.
Okay. So that's a healing.
Right.
But I guess what I don't understand is if you raise your vibrational level, and even though, let's say your body is riddled with cancer, let's say, how is it that the body is so far gone? It's because the body is something that's physical and it's not. It's a physical cover on the spirit, and that's why at some point it just can't heal itself.
Yes. Well, again, there are many layers that we have to look at. What is it that person's time that they fulfilled everything in this journey to move on to the next? So that can be an aspect of what type of healing is happening. So, as an example, my beloved Robert, his time was finished. Yes, racked with all kinds of cancer. We prayed, we believed, we thought, but also it said, this is the end of this journey. Okay? And so the ultimate healing, your prayer is being answered because this is the end. He is going to have this beautiful transition and move on to what is next. Everything in this time that Robert wanted to do and is fulfilled and could face has already been completed. So because he's at the end of the journey, the best healing is to release. What good would it be at the end of the journey and be completely well, knowing that he's going to end? So the ultimate healing, the best healing, is to be released from the body completely free. So he received the highest and best, knowing that this was the end of everything that he needed to accomplish, and he is ready to move on, transition to the next. So that may be, we have to look at these factors in life that we may say, hey, I came to this to do these 5 or 6 things, these things in my life. You know what? I'm done. I faced all these challenges. I worked through them the best of my ability. Some I failed at, some I wasn't so good at, but I finished 3rd grade. I'm ready to move on to 4th grade. I've completed my senior year. I'm ready to go on to college. Okay? So is it, no, we want you to get better grades and stay in your senior year and stay in your senior year and stay in your senior year, always be in third grade, always be in third grade, or it's time for you to move on. So what we have to do is balance this all out in our thinking. Does that make sense? Okay, wonderful. All right, so here we go. By raising the body's vibration to a frequency that is conducive to healing, the same innate self-healing ability that heals minor cuts and bruises can heal chronic and even terminal issues. And based on the records of over 3,500 patients, it's never too late. In fact, simply by raising the body's vibration to a level where it can self-heal, we might be able to experience the same kind of miracles. And if so, it means that we all have the power to heal the incurable. For the power of healing is within you. God is within you. The healing power is within you. You need to awaken it, become conscious of it, use it. It's there. Let me tell you this. Everything you need, you're already equipped with. Don't go out searching for it. Don't try to find it from someone else. Awaken to it in you already. Healing power is in you. Now, our struggle is, and I believe for many, sometimes it's hard for them to awaken to this healing power within them. Hard to, awaken to certain levels of these kind of things within them. And I think sometimes people have, shall we say, resigned to a certain course because they just can't ignite that power within them. So just like water cannot boil without a certain level of heat, the body cannot heal advanced physical issues without a certain level of vibration. What is vibration? Faith. What is faith? Knowing and emotion. What are we talking about here? We're actually analyzing what this faith is. It's your vibrational frequency. It's the power of believing. It's the believing energy that's radiating from your body, that's going out into the world, that is speaking the language of the universe, that attracts that which you desire. So be careful, because quite often we attract something we don't want. By our language, by our feeling, by our thoughts. We're attracting things that we really didn't want, but we've been entertaining these kind of vibrational frequencies where likes attract likes. So that's why we change our thinking, change our thoughts. We're actually breaking down the science of faith. We're breaking down the science, the intelligence of the very spiritual teachings of our Bible, ancient sages, great gurus, teachers of truth. Now, low body frequency, well, compromised healing ability results in health issues when you're at a low body frequency. An average body frequency, what you have is, well, normal ability results in general wellness. High body frequency, advanced healing is ability and can result in miraculous healing and optimum health. Wow. We see that example then? We understand. So how can we effectively raise our vibration to a level where health and healing is natural? Now, we've mentioned several things. Certainly prayer, meditation, being in full awareness and consciousness of God's presence in us, through us, around us, that we are one, not separate, one with God. God is all around us, God is in us, and God is in us as us. That's right. God just creeped inside, shall we say, took over this, whoa, do you ever watch the movie Ghost? And in that scene where Patrick Swayze steps into Whoopi Goldberg's body, like all of a sudden she's like, whoa, took me over, Well, that's our awareness. I just let God express God in me, as me, through me, around me. These hands are the hands of God. God is inside. Whoa. And I'm feeling, whoa, this craziness isn't, this is the power and presence, this love, this joy that I'm feeling. It's God in me, expressed through me. Now, wow. That's us at a high frequency vibration. So there's many things we can do to create this awareness. And I'm going to point out just a couple in today's class for us. A lot of these things I'm sharing with you today are not found in our book. I just wanted to add some things to share the context. Now, the author does bring out a lot of focus today in our chapter on self-love. So how do we raise our vibration? Well, it begins with some self-love. Self-love is the most healing and powerful thing you can do for yourself. And when you learn to love yourself deeply and tame your self-limiting beliefs, everything begins to fall in place. So we got to begin inside. We got to begin with us. Before you start really going out to try to love anybody else, have you worked on loving yourself? Let me tell you this. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be a very good lover. I don't care how much Viagra you take. I don't care how much this or that or perfumes you use. I don't care what kind of makeup you're using or how fabulous you are or what kind of tantra exercises you learn. You know? Oh, I'm so good at sex. I'm a great lover. You don't love yourself? You can't truly love someone else to a level of deep intimacy. You've got to love, first and foremost, yourself before you can give any kind of level of love, brotherly love, intimate love, family love, community love, different levels of love. To love anything, it has to begin within yourself. Have you ever encountered those people who really don't love themselves? And they try to be sunshine and roses, but then all of a sudden the BITCH comes out. You know, it just slips out of their mouth because they're angry, they're upset, because they're mad, because they don't really love themselves. They're not at peace. So it's blessed are the peacemakers, the peace, you have to have peace first to be able to make peace in the world. You've got to have love first within yourself, for yourself, before you can give love to the world. You can't give out anything that you don't have. And you have lots of stuff, but you have to recognize it. Got to love yourself. You have to, everything that you need to create this life that feels good, it's coming from the inside out. But you have to begin to ignite that love and share it. Do some self-love. Loving and abundant thoughts make the difference. And it's difficult for fear and stress and anxiety to hold you back when you are filled with loving and abundant thoughts. How can you, when you say, I am love, how can you be afraid? I am love, how can you be stressed? Because the love of God is caring for you and providing for you. It's hard for fear and stress and anything's happening to come into your life when you are fully embracing love and loving yourself. The next thing is self-care, because if you love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself. Self-care brings us joy, and joy is the highest energetic vibration. When you raise your energetic vibration, in turn, it raises the vibration of those around us. So if there is one thing that you can do for the betterment of society, it's take care of yourself. Before you try to take care of someone else, take care of yourself. You know, that's why you're on the airplane. And what does the stewardess do, or the steward flight attendant? What are they saying? They're giving you flight instructions before takeoff. And one of the things is, should the oxygen or the pressure level in the cabin change, an oxygen mask will drop down from the ceiling. Please put this mask on first on yourself before you assist anyone else. And lots of parents will say, well, wait, I care about my child first. Listen, when you pass out because you don't have the oxygen, there's no way you can continue to help your child. So first put your mask on so you can help somebody else. It's a beautiful illustration for our lives. Do we realize, have you done the self-care? Do it, because you can't do it for anyone else until you've done it for yourself. All right, Dr. Ann, what's your comment?
I saw something the other day and it said, when you find yourself having a negative thought, stop and then think of 3 things that give you joy, which you're saying is the highest energetic vibration.
Right.
And the first thing I think of is the gift of being able to see my grandson born in the delivery room right there.
Wow.
That's an easy one. Now, I like to be there 24/7, but I can't be in that joy. I mean, I can if I call it to me, but I don't live in that entirely. And then, you know what? You got to stop and you got to appreciate things. So you got things to pull back to your memory. And I was thinking, look at the gifts that God has given us. This little dog that I have that I so love so much. And you know, we're not necessarily talking about possessions, but that enters into it. And if you don't stop and really enjoy something, find something you enjoy, like looking at a lake or something.
Yes.
You don't have anything to pull back to you and pull yourself out of that negative thought.
Excellent. I love that. Thank you. So, not surprisingly, whenever we mistreat or neglect ourselves, our vibration decreases accordingly. Okay? How can we neglect ourselves? Maybe not enough sleep, not taking care of ourselves, not eating properly. Just not really taking some times out to refill yourself. Because let me tell you this. In life, we are so eager to pour out from ourselves. But if you haven't filled the cup, there's nothing for you to pour out, is there? And so often, so many people have poured out and poured out and poured out and poured out and poured out, and they don't fill their cup. So even as a pastor, I have to have a spiritual discipline in my own life to say, what is filling my cup so I can pour my cup out to others? And if I want to have an abundance to pour out, I've got to work on filling my cup up. I've got to make sure that my cup is full so that I can pour out something to someone else. And that's really important that we've done something in the realms of self-care. So for me, it's my personal devotional life. It's my peer group support that's nurturing me, that I have a pastoral support that we share in conversation with one another. It is my reading, my devotional time, my meditation, my prayer time. I have to these are so important. If I don't put value into those things and importance of things, I can't pour anything out. Because what happens, I find so many people in the fields of ministry they poured their cups out and they're not taking time to fill it up. And so they're drained, they're exhausted, they're burnt out. This is why it's really important. We find lots of people, clergy, as an example, they take a sabbatical, they take a vacation. And it should be used in the sense to fill their cup back up, so it can be whatever that may be that just renews and refreshes them. That's really what it's all about. That's the Sabbath Day Principle is, do you have a day where you fill your cup back up? It's a day of rest. That's the Sabbath concept. So we think a lot of times, oh my Lord, I can remember that, as a child, the Sabbath was our Sunday. You went to church in the morning. You went to Sunday school class. You ate at a church potluck. You took a little brief nap. You went back to church. You had prayer meeting. And then after prayer meeting, you had a Sunday night service. Before you know it, all day was in church. And I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I was like, wow. Wait a minute, what happened to this day of rest that you keep talking about? What happened to this time to refresh and renew? I think we can be so spiritually minded that we're not actually refreshing ourselves. At the same time, we can be so secular. Oh, that refreshment is, let me run off here to this, that, and that kind of activity. Let me go to the state fair. Let me run off to not going to state fair, but I'm just saying, when we may use these examples that we haven't done the spiritual refreshing. So there's a balance. So you want to make sure that, have you done your time of spiritual refreshment? That's your Sabbathing. And we need to Sabbath quite often. That is, seek that self-care and those moments of self-love where you are nurturing and filling your cup back up. So what we look at, no matter how we look at it, self-love is the foundation for a higher vibration and a healthy body. Therefore, when it comes to healing, practice self-love. Well, that's pivotal, and it begins with self-care. Self-love, self-care. Two very important issues that we're really working on, that we've really done some things. What is really for me, I love being out on my patio by the fireplace, listening to the birds sing, good cup of coffee, and my devotional book. a book that's feeding my soul. And I mean, that is my self-care moment. I just love, love, love. That's like, this is me time. This is nurturing and feeding me. And I'm in a wonderful environment where just listening to the birds feeds me. Nature around me feeds me. The relaxing ambiance feeds me. It's like it's refreshing and renewal. So find what is your bliss. I mean, for some, a nature walk, hike Stone Mountain, go up to Kennesaw State Park, get out into the woods, whatever it may be. Maybe it's take a hot bath, light some candles, have some soft music, have a glass of wine and sit back in that tub and eat your favorite dessert. Whatever that could be that you say, this is all pleasure, abundance, this is joy, this is feeding me, this is and I'm releasing stress. So we want to find these ways in many different aspects of caring, not only for the body, the mind, the soul. Don't forget the spiritual. What are you doing in self-care to feed your spiritual vibration, to keep it at its high level? Well, I hope that you've enjoyed today's class and lots of thought-provoking ideas, and that we are working on our own self-healing journey of keeping that vibrational level high. So as we conclude our class, we'd love to hear what your takeaway is. We'd love to hear from you, our listening audience, through our live streaming and our YouTube channel. What spoke to you today? What is inspiring you? What is something that just was like an aha moment for you? We'd love to hear from you. And while we're doing that, we're going to hear from our students who are gathered in our classroom. And let's hear from you. What's your takeaway? Let's start with Ann. Dr. Ann, tell us what your takeaway is from today's class session.
Well, I think self-care is really important. And when I was in energy school, we learned what he called was a shamanic thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? They could have called it Walt Disney thing.
Right.
It didn't matter, because if you believe in energy and the use of it and the clearingness of it, you can do that, and you believe that it will change. I was the only one that tried it at home by myself. Nobody else in the class did. And I said, I had a couple really good days, and it just worked for me. That worked for me. But you know what? I'm really having trouble finding not my bliss, but like you say, the fireplace and the you time. I have all of that at my disposal, but I need something a little bit more. So this has given me the impetus to spend the money, get what I want, and enjoy it for the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in today's world, sometimes we're so thinking lack. Well, I can go without this special treat. I don't need that. But, if you find something that brings you joy, life is so short. Indulge, engage, with moderation, shall we say, and with great wisdom. But treat yourself. Treat yourself to something wonderful, Treat yourself to a pedicure, ladies, or a manicure, whatever it be, or gentlemen, whatever it may be. Whatever that you may enjoy that says, this is for me. And I feel blissful and joyful about it, like I love the taste of a good cup of coffee. And even if that good cup of coffee costs me a little bit more, it's better than a nasty coffee water that somebody may serve you at some place. We won't name restaurants. They're like, well, this is just coffee water. I want some robust flavor. I want to get something. And if it costs me a little bit extra, it's the pleasure. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm also one of these people like, don't give me coffee in a styrofoam cup. You know what? I love it in a mug. I want the pleasure of a nice mug that you're holding your cup of coffee in. It adds to the experience, right? So it's like, these are things that you say, well, wait a minute. I know I could throw it in a cup, but a throwaway cup, but let me just use this really nice mug. And I've got a favorite mug. And if I really want to feel special, I take the mug that my children gave me for Father's Day. It is my sacred mug. Don't ever touch that, because it has been with me for years, and it was one of the wonderful gifts that they give me, and it was a gift of love, and I cherish it. And having a cup of coffee in that mug, it's even more delicious. You see, do those things that bring bliss and enjoy for your life. Great takeaway. Thank you, Ann. Let's go to Brenda. What's your takeaway from today's class session?
Today is we can effectively raise our vibration to a level where health and healing is natural. And it begins with self-love and tame your self-limiting beliefs. Everything begins to fall into place. You have everything that you need within your body to heal it. Because God lives in your body. He created your body.
Yes.
Loving and abundant thoughts make it difficult for fear, stress, anxiety to hold you back. Choose positive thoughts and you will increase your vibration level.
Wonderful. Let's not worry about any illness or sickness. Let's not even give it thought. But just revel in the joy, revel in the bliss, revel in the peace, revel in our perfection. Just take that time out to just enjoy and be at this sense of just how good this world is, your life is, how good your body is, how good the presence of God in you is. Just let that happen. And it's powerful for you. Let's go to Amy. What's your takeaway?
A lot, because I love to talk about healing in any respect, but we've got to learn how to deny fear and quit letting fear rule our life. And we're going on 2 years of pandemic fear, which filters down to everybody, every part of their lives, to where people aren't even, they're afraid to touch somebody or afraid to go outside, or we're back with a mask. And I'm not saying don't wear a mask or do wear a mask, but it's like this constant inundation of fear, death, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It's almost like what you said at the beginning was turn off the TV set, quit listening to everybody tell you what may go wrong.
Yes. How about what may go right?
Yeah. How about that? How about your immune system that does go right? Then I was thinking about, my brother who, perfect health, absolutely doing great, being where he loved, goes for just a regular checkup, and then they find he has brain cancer. So it's almost like I wished he hadn't gone to the checkup, because from that moment on, it was terror and terrible treatment. So it's almost like, don't get these tests. I mean, 100 years ago, we didn't have all these tests to find things that you didn't even know existed. Not telling people not to get their test, but it's like sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
You're going along because he was in perfect health, and 6 months later, after a horror show, terrible death. Then another thing was the vibrational thing, and how that is paired with belief. And so when you get a bad diagnosis, or the doctor tells you you've got cancer, you immediately go into adrenaline mode and then depression mode. That does no good for you healing yourself. So I don't even know where I'm going with that. But then the last thing was pull yourself from yourself. Pull your real self from yourself. Have that be front and center. Quit worrying about what you don't have control. Quit worrying about what somebody else tells you could go wrong with you. Just somehow or another refuse it. I'm guilty of, having a fear reaction if the doctor tells me something, but stop doing that. And there, one more thing I'll bring with my cousin, who's still with us, who this time last year was told, you have 8 to 10 weeks to live. If you don't take this chemo and radiation and all this crap, you'll be dead. Well, if I take it, how long will I live? It'll give you maybe 3 or 4 more months. He goes, no, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Goes about his life, doing things he loves. He takes care of his body, but not to some crazy sense. And he's still with us now. He's just like, screw cancer, screw that. No, I ain't going to do it. What's happening? outlived them and living a pretty good life.
Beautiful.
So,
You know, it is so true. We get a diagnosis and we think, what could go wrong? Versus, oh, what could go right? Oh, thank you for that diagnosis, doctor, but I want you to know I'm going to be experiencing healing and everything's going in remission. You know, because
they don't believe that.
Right.
They don't believe that.
But what if we begin to shift our vibration because we get this diagnosis and we think of all the things that could go wrong and all the worst case scenarios, and we embody that in our vibrational then level goes so low that we surrender to that thought and that consciousness that we become worse. Yeah.
You know, we
Right.
all know people that have been through that, and David's talking about a family member or friend that's freaking out with the cancer thing. And, you know, it's really all how you respond and react to it, and that really colors the outcome.
What if we could respond, what exciting thing is going to happen this? What is the best thing that's going to happen? That's my scenario. That's what I'm thinking, that this is a great context
Or
for me to let the light shine.
if it's, you know, you're saying it's terminal cancer or something, well, then from now, between the time I, you know, leave this earth, then I'm going to make the most of it.
Right.
And I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do the things, you know, I'm going to do things that are good for my body, but I'm not, you know, I'm not going to, I'm not going to have a horrible death. We're all going to die, you know, but all of us want the quality death of going to sleep, you know.
Right.
That'd be that, which, you know, except for your mother, that was, you know, pretty good. But, you know, there's no way out of it. So quit being afraid of death and then just enjoy while you're here. Enjoy, you know, make the most of while you're here.
Beautiful. Norma, what's your takeaway?
I was taken back to the idea of doing more work on forgiveness and self-love. I think, I'm not sure we can do enough forgiveness just in general. So we need to focus on that, I think. I couldn't help but think while you were talking, laughter is the best medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good way to approach life. Optimistic and hopeful and expectant, and keep everything positive and upbeat.
Watch a good comedy show and laugh.
Yeah.
Listen to a comedian and make yourself laugh, because, you know, it's amazing how healing that can be.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. All right, Dave, what's your takeaway from today's class?
There's a lot of things that were discussed today that I've never really thought about. As a new person, new thought, and learning all this stuff, my vibration level, according to this, is kind of mediocre. So I need to raise it to a higher level to put enough energy into it to move to where you need to be. I mean, everybody's story has been riveting and all those things. And I've always thought of myself as being a very positive person, but I could be even more positive and look at things differently. So those things have been brought out in today's lesson. And it is really interesting to know the power of positive energy can give you a lot of things that you never experienced before. So
Beautiful.
it was a good lesson.
Excellent. Thank you. Dr. David Carter, what's your takeaway?
Focus on the feelings and the emotions, not the material object. The universe responds to the frequency of our vibrational energy that we send out.
Beautiful. That's the language.
And I have one more. I really like what you said when you make the statement that we should say every day I'm walking and living in divine perfection.
Beautiful. Excellent. Steve, let's hear from you. What's your takeaway?
Just the need to cultivate the discipline of self-care.
Self-care.
You can avoid burnout.
Yeah. Wonderful. Excellent. Do we have any of our students online that have a comment or a takeaway? Not at this time.
Facebook and not on YouTube.
All right.
YouTube right now.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that you're with us for this class series. I hope you'll join us again next week We hope to be operating again at 10:30. We just claim everything will work out smoothly for us to be on time. We apologize for any inconvenience for anyone as we start a little bit late today, but we are setting intention that everyone's coming together at the right and perfect time for this incredible insight into the power of positive energy in our lives. I'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 10:30. Now, if you've enjoyed this class, I want to encourage you to put out some energy of gratitude in a way that is very tangible. And this is sending energy through your gift and your support of the Emerson Institute here at City of Light. You can go to our website at www.cityoflightatlanta.com. And there on our website, you'll find a donate button. You can offer your gifts, your donations, or your tithes, whatever it may be that you want to share, and do so in a wonderful sense of support, gratitude, and speak the language of the universe with a cheerful giving, the joy of giving, the thought of knowing that you're making a difference in the world as you do so. Thank you so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. Again, I'll see you next Thursday, 10:30, here at City of Light for the class on the power of positive energy. God bless you.